What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Batman will be playable at the end of Gotham Knights. That's right, the time has come. It's come before the game has even come out. It's come before we've gotten more information on the game. But this was a video I think was a long time coming, and for those that need to be caught up, let me just quickly say this. I made a video a few days ago where I talked about will it have endgame content, and, me and all of my talking glory, I don't really plan stuff out. I really just talk. Around the 10-minute mark, around the very end of the video, I realized, oh dear God, they could have a Batman thing. They could have Batman be tied into some kind of endgame content. And so I said at the end of that video, and it was only a couple days old, I'll link it at the end. It'll be the end video that you guys see at the end of this video. And then I said, I have to make an entire video on this. It's just too good of a topic to not discuss. And it is. It truly, truly is. Look, I get there's the camps. I get there's the people that want Batman, that need Batman, and also the ones that say, you know what? They're doing something bold. Let's let them do it. If he's there, he's there. And honestly, that is where I stand. So I'm not like demanding Batman be endgame content. I do stand on that side where I really do think he's in this game. I would be extraordinarily shocked if he's not in this game. I can't honestly give you guys a yes or no answer if I would be disappointed if he's not. I feel like if I say no, I would not be disappointed. I feel like that would be a little hypocritical because I feel in my soul I kind of would. But then people will say, oh, see, you really shouldn't have put your expectations there. So you really lose either way, honestly, in that case. But let me tell you this. So we have to go down the path in this video that he is alive. I think. I mean, we can obviously talk about if he's just flat out not going to be in the game. We can do that really fast. If Batman is actually dead and he's just flat out not in it, he will not be endgame content for Gotham Knights. That was the quickest way of saying anything that I've ever said in any video on this channel. If he is in the game, I really find it hard to imagine a world where you can't play as him at the end. I know, when they showed the original trailer, the reveal trailer, and the gameplay, one of the biggest things that people talked about was, would Batman be play? Because, they've been asked questions. They've been asked questions, Warner Bros. Montreal, about are these the only characters? And they've been very, very quiet, or very, I would say, dodging of that question every single time. We've actually talked about it, right? Their answer actually leads me to fully believe there'll be DLC characters. I don't think there'll be more characters than these four, which is a reverse of Suicide Squad, where I think a lot of people expect there to maybe be more Suicide Squad members than Rocksteady's, the four that they have. For Gotham Knights, I think these are the four. Okay, I don't think there's a chance that all of a sudden they're going to add a random, other one. But with that being said, I mean, kind of they will if Batman is alive, because I do think at the end of the game you could unlock him. And honestly, look, that would actually be maybe the best endgame content. Wouldn't it kind of be the best endgame content ever? You play through this whole game. You learn to love these characters. Nobody's telling you, by the way, at the end of the game that you have to stop playing as them. You can keep leveling them up. If you want to get a specific gear maybe that you don't have yet, or like a costume, you can do that. If you haven't unlocked all the skills yet, you can do that. Right? If you power through the game, you're probably not going to reach your max level, right? So you can do that. But then imagine, again, we've talked about what they could do for endgame content. Could they do a DLC pack where they add, now that's kind of different. Endgame content and DLC, I would maybe say are different. But for endgame, remember we said, do you unlock like brand new areas that you couldn't go before, or new missions that you couldn't do before? Do you lock maybe like a villain behind it? I mean, again, there's right ways and wrong ways, and there's ways that will upset people. I completely get that. Those are all, completely your opinion, my opinion, and ultimately up to them. We'll have to see what they do at the end of the game, or are they just going to be holdover stuff? Now, again, you have that, and then you have, I would say, very, without them actually saying it, I really do think they have hinted at as much as they can that there will be DLC content. There could be maybe villain DLC content, which we've kind of gotten in the past, right? There could be villain DLC content. It could be new heroes, like new Gotham Knights that you can add on, right? Me and Degenerate Jay actually did a video on his channel, right, where we talked about characters that can maybe be added. So I think that happens, and we have talked about that and said, well, Batman could very well be a DLC. To me, if Batman's alive, or if you bring him back to life. So like I said, no matter what, he's going to be actually, alive at the end of the game. If that happens, he should not be a DLC because he should just be automatically able to be played. I guess you could argue there's a world out there, there's a group of people out there that I guess could argue that even if he is alive, even if it is brought back and he's part of it, maybe he could just be like a mentor, maybe he can just talk to you through like the comms. He doesn't necessarily need to be playable at the end of the game. I would understand that if they did that. I would say I get it, but I don't agree. It would be one of those situations where I understand, but I do not agree with this decision. There's no other way for me to say that. I would honestly say I would also be disappointed. I guess that would be part of not agreeing with it. If Batman's alive and you're doing like endgame missions that weren't available to you before, and Batman's like talking to you, you're like having discussions, and you're like in your Batgirl, and you're like, I can't believe you faked your own death, or I can't believe you were actually gone. We brought and he's like saying, yeah, I know, it's like all that stuff. It's like, are you serious? You're gonna do all this, but you're not gonna let us play as him? Besides that, they have made Batman games in the past, so it's not like they don't know how Batman operates, right? Obviously under a new system, but I think that would be a mistake, but at the same time, that's possible, and I think what I'm saying is possible. I think if you did it, end of the game, and then all of a sudden they said, okay, you unlocked Batman. Now, the thing with that is, if you unlock Batman, can you get him as to like the highest level that you got everybody else? Does he have missions only available to him? You know what I mean? Like, how does that exactly work? I don't know, because if you make him have like an entire long quest thing of being able to do it, I don't know how well that would actually, I don't know if they would actually put, not necessarily if they would put in the time, but I feel like that would almost be unnecessary to do. They could, again, you could argue go lazy. I wouldn't necessarily say it would be going lazy, but you could have just him there, and then you could complete missions that you've already done, or any missions that you haven't done yet, or if you need to finish your Riddler, trophy find or whatever, you could do all that as Batman. But again, it would be kind of weird, because say the level cap is like 25, but it's really hard to get to 25, and you got there with a couple of your characters. Well, to Batman, like, how are you going to get there with Batman? Do you have to do all the missions over? If you do like a new game plus, that eliminates Batman, right? Because again, Batman's not in the game, so if you restart the game, yes, you would maybe keep all your level. You know what I mean? It does get difficult. It does get kind of weird, because I play a lot of games. I can't really think of that many examples, or any example, at least right now on the spot, of something like this happening. If you guys can, definitely let me know. Has there been a game where you play as a cast, but at the end of the game you unlock, for whatever reason, like a brand new character? Can you think of that? They could. And I'm sure a game like that probably does exist. You got to think, again, because we've talked, the whole voice actor and the guy who plays Batman, like, he also did motion capture. He seems very, very pumped about it. It seems like they put a lot into that to just only have him be in like 30 seconds of the game. I know some people said, like, could there be flashbacks with him? I do want to make videos on that as well, because I do think like a Joel thing in The Last of Us Part 2, I think they could do that, like training missions maybe with him. Here's what I'll say to end this as a prediction. Here's what would make it very obvious as the game is going on, is how developed Batman as a character is in this game. Whether he's alive or dead, or whether we believe while we're going through it if he's alive or dead. If there's like several flashbacks where we see, whether it be cinematics like cutscenes, or more specifically, and this one would again be the more dead giveaway in my mind, if we see like gameplay of him, if we're like in the Batcave and we're like training with him as Barbara or Robin or whoever, if we're doing that and he's literally in missions but in the past, or if they're thinking about him and maybe they like hear his voice, or whatever. If he's in this game heavily, especially like I said, gameplay wise, like if we are fighting alongside him but maybe we can't fight as him in some flashback mission, that to me would be a pretty good indicator that by the time we get to the end of the game, which by the time we're there, it's too late to make videos and talk about it. That's why I'm doing it now. But that would be a dead giveaway to me that, oh, okay, I mean, you're going exactly, what it's exactly like, and I don't want to spoil this, but it's been out a month. I think everybody knows Captain America in Avengers. You have him, you have his entire, character model. You fight with him in the beginning of the game. He seems very, very developed. We knew we would play as him online as well. So there was no world that I thought that they would, actually keep him dead. Okay? Those are kind of the dead giveaways, though, where it's like, well, you don't make a character and develop their fighting style and how they do all that much to then do it for 30 seconds and then he's just gone. You know what I mean? Whether the death is integral to the story or not, you just do not waste your time with something like that. You could even argue that for like Joel in The Last of Us. Like, yes, he's not in it all that long, in the present time, but you do see him multiple times throughout the game. Multiple times. And in fact, obviously you play as him in the beginning. So even that, it's not like they put all that, time with Troy Baker into the character model and then Joel's in it for 30 seconds. No, you know what I mean? They did stuff to kind of go around that. I think it's almost the exact same thing with Batman, where if we do see him, if we're fighting with him, that's just way too too much work to be put into his character where it's like, well, you've already developed everything. Why not just have us play as him at the end of the game? It seems so simple. It seems like such an obvious thing. So that's the path I think they're taking. Again, I've been wrong on plenty of things in the past, but that's what I think. So guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Should Batman be endgame content in the game? Do you think he will be? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. We're getting very, very close to 40,000 subscribers. I truly appreciate your support. If you're not already subscribed, please do. Also, if you guys have not yet joined our Discord server, it's continuing to grow. I think as of right now, we have hit the 600 mark that I wanted to hit very soon. We have hit that, but obviously, I would welcome anybody that wants to join. Thank you guys again for all of your continued support. More Gotham Knights videos coming very, very soon, and I hope to see you all there.